There's an old country song that says, you gotta stand for something or you'll fall for anything. There's also one by Gretchen Wilson called I'm a Redneck Woman. And she kind of goes through the whole list of what it means to be a redneck woman. Of course, there's God, won't you give me a Mercedes Benz? And pretty much anything out of New York or Hollywood these days where the lyrics of the song tell you what they think, what kind of cars are popular, what kind of people they hang out with, who's not good enough for them. There's another word for that. And you probably wouldn't expect it to be wrapped up in the lyrics to a song. But it's called identity politics. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast. Here's what I found to be true when it comes to just being yourself. It's really easy to get wrapped up in the definition others give you. How you behave, who you hang out with, the kind of words that you choose to use or not to use, the things that you believe or don't believe, the way you vote, how you spend your money. Would you buy a $10,000 diamond bracelet? Drive a $40,000 car while living in a house that's worth $10,000? Or sleeping on somebody else's couch? There are cultures where that's not only approved of, but brilliant. So that when you're out in public, you have the bling bling that looks like you got the class, that looks like you got the money and the power and the influence, but nobody really knows where you stay. And so where you stay doesn't really matter. But see, that's a cultural thing. Is it really your identity? Is your identity even found in the things that you own? The kind of car that you drive, the kind of clothes that you wear, the brand name in the label. Is that your identity? Is your identity because you belong to this group or that group? I used to tell people all the time I grew up redneck. What I meant by I grew up redneck was I grew up in a small town in central Texas where there were more cows than people. And we had some really old-fashioned, simple world ideas. Some of them very strong foundational family values. Some of them a little antiquated, outdated, and, well, just plain racist. And as I look back on those things, I realize being known as a redneck or a country boy or a man from the South instantly gives people ideas about who I am, how I think, what I believe, who I hang out with, and who I vote for. And they're not necessarily true. What I believe about certain ideas can't be determined by where I grew up. Sure, it impacts it, but I think. Do you do that? Do you think, or do you follow like sheeple? The herd, wherever the herd is going, so that you can get along with everyone, so that you can at least get along with the majority of people that are mostly like you, so that you don't feel like an outcast. Because honestly, when you have your own identity, not identity politics, not, well, we're all like this and we're separate from the people that are like this. Maybe the difference is skin color. Maybe it's religious ideology. Maybe it's where you went to school. Have you ever known somebody who got into an argument because one went to a particular college and another one went to a rival college, and up to the moment that they discovered what colleges they went to, they were friends. They had a civil conversation and everything went along just fine. And then all of a sudden they've identified themselves by their alma mater, and war has broken out in their relationship. I remember emceeing a wedding a few years back where the bride was from UT and the groom was from OU. And they just happened to get married for a brunch on the same day as the Red River Shootout when those two teams play each other in Dallas. And at one point, we asked the bridal party and all of the guests to stand up and then divide themselves by who supported OU and who supported UT. And there was no one left seated who wasn't on one side or the other. Identity politics. If we can separate them from them, and those from those, and them from those, and they from we, then it's easier to divide and conquer. It's easy to say they think like this, and that's wrong, and we think like this, and that's right. I'm telling you right now, though, if you'll find your own identity, if you'll be comfortable in your own skin, it's a whole lot easier to lead and influence when your thinking is yours and it's independent than it is when you simply follow the crowd out of convenience. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day.